Friends, how you doing? Tom with Tom Willard Trading. Welcome to another video. Let's cut to the chase here. It's Saturday. The playoff game starts pretty soon. I want to get this done, get this out to you all so you can study it over the weekend. Check out some of these ideas. Congrats on you guys who are taking a lot of these trades. A lot of these trades I've been mentioning on my videos. Go back to them if you haven't seen them. Their trades are working out really well. There's been some great money making opportunities both on the day trading side, swing trading, which is mostly what I talk about here in these videos, is the swing trades. So let's get right to it. First off, let's talk about the markets. Right now, I got the chart of the SPY up, the S&P 500 ETF. You'll see daily chart upper left, weekly chart upper right, and then the smaller time frames, the 60 and the 15 on the bottom. Now, you'll notice here that, again, we're still in the uptrend. Things are moving. Every time we come down and touch this 20-period moving average, this green line here on the daily, it kicks right back up off of it. Kicks back, aggressive red candle, big bottoming tail, kicks right off of it. Same thing kind of happened on Friday. You'll notice even here, these red candles, some signs that we're trying to go down, but you see the green candles far outnumber the red ones, and the trend is up, and it's pretty good separation. Here, even on the weekly chart, we've got a nice uptrend. Okay, but realize that, you get like these consolidations here. I think we're due for something like, see this here or here, for the next 3 weeks. I think we're going to get more of a deeper pullback, maybe down this area. Why, you may ask? I actually have no objective reason. As I'm looking at this, as I was trading on Friday, those of you guys that have been around and have known me for a while, back in the 2007, 8, 9, 10 era, when I was running a chat room, I was doing a lot of training, flying around the country, training people on trading. One of the sayings I had, especially when I was in the room moderating, says, "Hey, my spider sense is tingling that XYZ is going to happen." And it's intuition. And I can't put my finger on what it is exactly, but the action on Friday, whatever it was, it struck me as odd. It struck me as there's more downside to come. Even though when you really look at the action on the 60-minute chart, the 15-minute chart here of what happened on Friday, it really was constructive. I mean, we had this massive, aggressive, really 25-minute, 30-minute sell-off. And it just bottomed. And this is a common theme. You'll see a lot of bottoming tails here where we get aggressive 15, 20, 30-minute really sell-off. Some of them last like maybe an hour, hour and a half, and literally just a vicious move down, bottoming tail, and then basically higher lows the rest of the day. And maybe toward the end, a little profit taking where it comes down and takes out a lower two. You'll notice this pattern. If you look back on the charts, you'll see this happening over and over and over again since March. And so I even mentioned this a while back, as you can almost take the shot at anytime you get an aggressive sell-off and you get that bottoming tail and you get that first attempt to move higher, you can get on that, set it and forget it. Shoot for a target, maybe 50 to 60% of the move down, back up, put your stop at the low of the day. If it makes sense reward to risk-wise, boom, you guys have set it and forget it, right? Siafi. But something happened on Friday, and I don't know what it was. Again, I got 20 years of experience of doing this, and something struck me as odd. So my general approach is what? Am I going to change my plan? No, I'm not. I'm going to continue to take my stops. I'm going to continue to take my profits. I'm going to continue to trade my trades. But what I'm going to do now is start looking for more. My bias coming into the markets, I'm going to be looking for more intraday shorts. Yeah, maybe some swing shorts. I don't know. I haven't shared a lot of swing shorts because I haven't been shorting a lot of stocks on a swing trade basis. But I think more and more they're going to come up here. I think we're going to get more of a correction. Now, I may be wrong, and again, I'm not changing my actual trading plan. But my bias, my shift is going to be looking for more opportunities to get short intraday, because you can make massive profits on some of these moves. And actually, I nailed a couple of Tesla. I got a really great short on this last week, a couple times actually. So you can take advantage of these big moves in these big high flyers. Some of the stuff that's stupid extended. I talked about it on my Twitter feed on Plug Power, Ballard Power. We'll talk about a couple of those as well. In fact, I'll bring them up here later when we go through specific stocks. So anyway, where am I on the market? Guess what? Same old song and dance. We're on an uptrend. Railroad track moving average on the way up. We're pulling back to the moving average. It's buy until you know differently. Sell, follow your plan. Is that changed? No. But I'm telling you that from me to you, something intuitively, I picked up something on Friday, and I don't know what it was. And again, it may be nothing. And sometimes it doesn't mean nothing. But usually I honor it by saying, okay, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to start looking for more opportunities to go this way than I have been in the past. And when you frame your mindset a certain way and you got a certain bias, it does help you find those opportunities. You can nail them when you see them, because if you don't see them, if you don't believe it, then you're blind to it. So you've got to change your belief system, but you also can't affect the way you're trading because it's effective. And the main thing is you got to follow your plan. You've got to follow your plan. So thought I'd share that. We'll see what happens. One of the things is I'm picking up the VIX on the long side. You can see here it's really on the daily chart. It's really cannot go lower than this $16 area. Really, high six or low 16s is where it's really finding support. So really, it's a low risk trade in my opinion to swing it here at about 16, 17. You got about a dollar stop, and you're looking for these things. This thing can move really. You can see on the pops up here. We won't count this one because that was the March debacle with a COVID joke going on here. This thing here popped up, right? Look at that aggressive move here. I mean, that's a pretty sizable move. Now they're getting smaller and smaller, but I think we could get, if we get that move down, that may happen. It could be a tremendous move up, and it's a good hedge. Your longs keep going higher, then great. This one stops you out, then fine, you got a hedge. So I actually started buying into this thing swing wise in one of my swing trading accounts. And that's where my stop's going to be. It's around $16 a share, high 15s, and I'm looking for a move probably past this $20 mark. So reward to risk wise is worth it. I feel like I had a hedge, so I started doing that this last week, and I'm in that. And that's how I'm. When I get these things in my head, I'm like, okay, I feel good about this. I think this is a good opportunity to try to catch something on the other side, even though. Your longs, typically if this thing starts skyrocketing, a lot of the longs, a lot of the strong market stocks are going to take a hit. So you'll just have to have profit taking, protective stop losses on new initiated positions that are that'll make you a loser in those trades, but nonetheless you got to take them. Or profit targets. Start taking profits as you see fit to your plan. Okay. All right. So there's the VIX. I talked about the SPYs. The Qs? Yeah, the SPYs. Q, same thing, right? Red bottom, red bar, bottoming tail. You can see aggressive move lower. It would try to make a lower low, made a lower low off the tail, came back up, higher low, and then kind of an expanding range here. So again, this goes for the Qs too. I think the volume picked up. 3-day weekend, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to be right, but there's no objective proof looking at these charts that we're going to go down. But something's telling me we're going to get more of a jog like this. Are we going to go down to here? I highly doubt it. At least not next week, right? But I think more of this this move down, this 3-week move down here, looks like about November. Let me see if I can just bring the chart out here. This looks more like something that we could be experiencing here in the next 3 weeks, based on what I'm feeling. And I could be wrong, but like I said, that's what I'm looking at possibly happen, and I'm positioning myself that way, and also coming into the market each morning with that thought process, thinking, okay, this is to me something that is more apt to happen now, and I want to be prepared for it. All right, let's get to some of these juicy, sweet trading ideas I have. All right, Trinity Biotech. Been talking about this one. You can see it crossed over the declining moving average, the 200-day or 200-week. Here's your dailies actually in an uptrend on all cases, but it's really trying to come out of the doldrums here, $1 a share as it's moved up from April of last year. And you'll see here the flag, right? It's an elongated flag here on the weekly chart. It broke down only to reverse, and now check it out. So it made a high here, a new low here. It took out this low, popped right up, made a new high, and then it's making a higher low. So aggressive folks can look to get in here above this 450 tail here, or even above this one as it tries to make this higher low. Okay, so it's basically, it gave a wide whip, and now it's tightening down, and an explosion past this area here, which is, what is that high of that tail? $40.26, okay, if you're going by the penny, could explode to new highs. And I'm watching this closely. Trib, watch it as a long idea. I think it could produce if it can get up over those highs. GMDA. Very similar. It's a flag, right? You got a massive move up, consolidation, wide and whippy between $10 and $8 a share. So it's pretty big from a percentage basis anyway, right? Came down, up, higher low. Interesting. Okay, if it breaks with any sort of force past 10, I think this thing could really roll. So watch it above 10. Now you're going to give it a pretty big stop. You're going to have to put your stop under $8 a share. So you're going to need a $6 run off this to make it worthwhile from a 3-to-1 perspective. Will you get it? You could, based on the move here from 4 to 11. $7 move off this new pivot would put you at $15 a share, right? So it's close. So maybe you can get in here above 10 with a tighter stop on this higher low, indicating that if it breaks underneath this higher stop area, it's going to go get this lower area anyway. So tighten it down. Use the bar that got you in. Follow your plan. Okay. But this one, GMDA, is also on my top watch list for a long trade. This one, it wasn't even on my radar. I was doing some expansive scans, and I found this gem. Um, I don't even know what the hell they do. Capital Federal Financial, so probably something in a bank. I guess I could look it up, but it doesn't really matter because the chart's telling me I want to buy this sucker if it breaks above 1350. You can see the cup, handle, bottoming tail, volume dropping off. I mean, kids, it doesn't get any more textbook than that. Now, granted, to the left here, you've got some garbage, but it's probably been worked off. This resistance here has probably been worked off through this um, nasty move down and the subsequent move back up. As it's setting up here, this thing looks just sexy. Watch it as along. CFFN. ABC, uptrend, weekly, daily. Took a dive down here, but has this aggressive power move up, flagging. You had a pretty solid day on Friday, which was a crappy day in the market in general. And look at this thing did on volume. 108 your buy point, 104 area is your stop. You're looking for a move back up of and beyond. ABC, put it on a list, guys. Looking pretty good as a swing trade. And this one has been on my list for a while. I've shared it in other videos. It's been a great swing trader if you've gotten it. All right. Nice moves up here on the weekly. Boom. Look at this. Boom. Big candle on volume. Consolidation, although a little loose. Okay. Volume's dropped off. You've got a high flag here. Buy the highs. If it breaks the highs, your stop's under the low of the flag. Really nothing to stop it from going higher. T-Tech. Top long idea. PGTI. Again, you guys should start seeing these patterns setting up for you. Here's the flag. Here's the flagpole. The flag setting up. Buy over 23. Stop under 22. All-time recent highs here. Okay, I'm not going back further, but this thing looks like it's got lots of room to run. Nice uptrend here. Again, if the market can stay together here, this thing runs, I think, if it breaks above. Watch this one as a swing long. Last but not least, on the long swing ideas, Veru, VERU. Big move up, really, really strong. Lower low, big green candle engulfing, bringing it back to a higher low. You got a shakeout bar on Friday, taking out all the bottoms here of this area, pretty much shaking out anyone who had their stops in those areas. So now we got to see what it does. If it can reverse and hold this low, this bottoming tail, move back up, blow past 10, I'm looking to get in, swing long on this thing. If it can't, if it continues to collapse and fall back below 8, that's great. You know, just keep it on radar. There's no entry. For it to enter, it's got to break past 10 for me at this point, unless it sets up again later in a week or two here. But nonetheless, I like the way this is looking, and I think it looks higher, so watch it closely for your entry. Veru looks strong and momentum building. Speaking of a couple that we've been talking about from week to week, Genesis. This one I talked about. I tweeted about. It looks brilliant. It looks like it's going to go higher. Like I mentioned, the chart leaves a lot to be desired. It's sloppy. It's a lot of tails, a lot of overlapping bars. You got railroad tracks here on the moving averages, the 200, the 20, and the 50. And here you've got a little bit of a crossover on the daily chart. You see it's trying to move higher. Friday in a down day, it was constructive, put in a bottoming tail. This thing looks like it wants to push. It broke the highs here by a few pennies. The all-time high, or not all-time high, but the 730, I think it was 732, and it broke 735, went to 740, I think, and change. If it can get past that 740 mark, I think this thing will blow past, and it'll run. First target, as I mentioned, I've been in this thing for a while, well through back in here. So I've sold into the big moves up. I've bought back shares on the pullbacks. Right now, on a breakout above 740, 750, I'm not going to add to my position. But if you're in it with me, I think if it breaks your first target, definitely not all of it, maybe a small percentage of what I've got, I'm going to sell in the high sevens, and then look for a move from there. Extrapolating the measured move here to here, here to here, we're looking at about $1, $2, $3 off the pivot. So I'm thinking $9 is probably a realistic target if this thing can get ahead of steam going past 750. I think you can shoot to $9 a share. So trade it to your plan, but this thing has been a great producer for me, and for those of you guys that got in with me way back in the day when I was mentioning it. Window. Congrats to you guys that got in with me here on this thing. I sold, as you can look at my tweet feed, I sold 20% of my position at $18.90. I mean, boy, did I get lucky. Did I know something? No, but I literally got out right near the top, not at the top of the topping tail, but damn near the top of the topping tail. And how did I know? I didn't. I just said, this is frothy. I had to take some profits. And then it came back down. And what did I do? I bought those shares back here at $11.50 right here when it came crashing down on the 14th. And then it went down as low as 10, okay, and then it popped back up to 12 and change, and now it's hanging out at 11.35. It's setting up again. If I get another more calm down candles here, and this thing is wide and whippy, and it's very, very, so you can't use candle by candle analysis, I think, or stops. You're going to get shaken out. You've got to give it room. So that's the one risk in this is you're going to be risking a little bit more from a dollars and cents perspective because you have to be a little bit looser with your stops. Otherwise, you could get clipped easy. But this thing, again, looks like it's being an uptrend. This is a very ugly topping tail. Obviously, if it gets back up into the 17, 18 range, I'll probably take that 20% back off again, maybe even more. But right now, it looks like we may get the pop back up, and I think this thing is in the right sector based on what's coming up here in our country. So solar window, continue to hold it. Like I said, I sold a little bit in here, but I just bought those shares back, and I'm looking to get this thing to ride much higher. Again, if you're not in this and you're looking to buy it, I mean, technically, you could buy it over the high of this candle here, which is what, 12, let's see, 1270 with a stop at 990. But I'm not going to add to my position there, so you do what you want. I'm going to suggest that you wait for something tighter because this thing could whip up to 14, come back down to 9, go back up to 12, back to 9, back to 13, and whip around here a little bit before it goes back up. I think it will go back up eventually, otherwise I wouldn't be holding 80% of my original position, okay, or now 100% back in on this pullback. But nonetheless, I think that if you're not in it, you're going to have to be, or just go small shares, where if you get stopped out, it'll be a smaller total loss for you. So whatever you want to do, but right now I think this thing is setting up to give you another entry. I don't think it's clean right now, but that's what I'm doing with this thing right now. So let's go to wrap. If you guys have been following me on Twitter, I've been talking to this one as well. I said that there's some seismic activity. You'll notice there's these big volume spikes, and then literally 100% or more of the spikes is sold off. So pop, sell off, pop, sell off, pop, topping tail, sell off. It can't keep any sort of momentum going back up. But these volume spikes in the green candles are telling me that the odds are is this thing's going to go higher. Now, is it clean? No. Is it ugly? Yes. If it goes under this low, am I going to hold on to it? Hell no. I'm taking my stop. My stop is under this bottoming tail. And if it goes back down there, I'm going to get out. But I'm looking at this thing, even though it doesn't look like much here on the daily chart because of the tails and the whip and the overlap, it to me looks like it wants to go higher. So I'm going to stay in and honor my stop if it gets hit. And really look for this thing to try to pop up. If it can get a head of steam going past about $6.50, $7 a share, I think this is an easy run to $9 or $10 a share. Easy. But it's got to get there first. Okay. Those of you guys that are anticipating with me or seeing this and I started buying into this thing, great. Just have a plan. Make sure you know what to do when and if the plans go awry if they do. All right, last thing. So getting on my original motif around being a little bit more cognizant of shorting opportunities. Tesla, this one has had a momentous run. I talked about this here. I shorted it on this day here, Monday, off this island, massive volume, green candle. Here it is here. Here's the day. And I thought, man, there's a lot of people trapped. And when it gapped down, my target was 817, and it hit 817 to the penny. I mean, it really hit it, and then it bounced back up, and then it came all the way back down toward the end of the day. And then what did it do? Well, it came up, and it's been kind of oscillating in this 840 to 860 range until Friday, when it broke down with some force toward the end of the day, and down to the mid 825s. So this thing, it's just, what is it doing? It's just flagging, right? It's got a big pole, and it's flagging here. All right, so technically, if it breaks out above these highs around 865, 870, it's a buy. Okay. However, if it doesn't, there's a lot of people trapped up here, and I think if we get this move down in the bigger major market ETFs, this thing I think can come down to the moving average at least around 750. So I'm watching this for intraday short opportunities, knowing that if this thing gaps up and starts busting tail for that 860, 870 mark, I'm going to go day trade long. Will I swing trade it long? No. Why? Even though this is a flag setup, I think Tesla's move is done. I mentioned on Twitter that anyone's in this thing long, dump it around 850 and be flat. And I'm day trading it, playing with it, long and short during the days, but I'm not holding anything overnight on this thing right now. I find that this thing, a breakout here on this thing that's been this nosebleed on the weekly after this run, is a high odds of failing, meaning you could trigger. This thing could hit $900 a share, for example, and then turn around and come down to 800. So I'm almost inviting it to do that, because if it does that, I am going to be front and center focused on finding a shorting opportunity to short the failed breakout, if and when it happens. Okay, I'm not going to assume it's going to happen, but I'm thinking there's a high likelihood that if this thing breaks out, it's going to fail. It's not going to have much follow through. Okay, so be aware that's what I'm thinking right now, and I'm looking for mostly shorting opportunities on Tesla intraday. Some longs if we get an aggressive move, especially if this pivot, because there's people also saying this is bull. This company is crap. Their PE's 1200 or whatever the hell it is, and they're shorting it. And guess what? They're trapped in here short. So if we get an aggressive move past 870, we could just slingshot right to 900. And guess what? I want to be on that trade if it does that. I want to take a part of that. I want to dip my beak in that honey. You know what I'm saying? So Tesla is on my watch for short. AMAT, good God, look at this thing. Right? Really extended here. You got a red candle bottoming tail. I think this thing could come down a little bit if the markets start coming down. This one already did. Whew, this is why you take your profit-taking stops, guys. Look at this thing. That's a pretty solid move down. Okay, so that one might be a little bit overdone here to get short on at this point. Roku's also been really extended. Look at this thing. See this is a base here, really high base, and it broke out. And look at turn tail. This is a high odds breakout failure because of the extension from the moving average, and you go to the higher time frame where it's literally giving me a nosebleed looking at this thing. You got to be insane to be buying up here. I think it's a very low odds trade in my opinion. The higher odds trade is taking it short and trying to take it for a nice retracement back to minor support or that sort of thing. So Roku's another one I'm eyeing up for short opportunity. I think these airlines, they triggered, but a lot of them are topping, tailing out. Love, AAL, look at these red candles, guys, right? UAL, DAL. I think this whole vaccine thing, this buy setup that hit sucked people in, and now it's looking like it wants to go down. Even the cruise lines, RCL, CCL. I mean, these are pretty solid red candles. Actually, CCL held up better. So if this and the gamers, LVS, MGM. Okay, MGM's holding up a little bit better than LVS. Let's take a look at Win. Also holding up a little bit better. Okay. But if these leisure and travel stocks start to fall apart, these breakout failures, you can take advantage of these on the short basis. If you're a day trader like myself, I know many of you are not, and that's fine. You've got normal jobs. But for those of you guys that are in this game with me, that's what I'm sharing that I'm looking at. LRCX is another one that's in low nosebleed territory. Take a look at Plug. Okay, Plug here. Draw this picture in your head, guys. That is an island. That's a lot like the Tesla trade right there. Look at that. That is overextended, highest volume. I mean, that is a short opportunity screaming at you. All right, beautiful. And you look what's happened here. It came down. Oop, move this back out. What happened here? Oh, there we go. There we go. You can see it's had two down there. Now is it time to short? No, it's too late. It's pulled back. Now you can look for a buy, but I'm looking for it to get deeper. It's too far away from the moving average still. Okay, but Plug, what was the other one? BLDP, I believe. Kind of all in the same neck of the nape. BLDP. Let's see, BLDP, and what was the other one? I can't think of it right now off the top of my head. BLDP, Plug, and Fuel Cell. Notice the similarity on the daily charts, right? All of them have these island reversals. And if you look at Tesla, it was the same thing. If we go back, let me just go back because you can't really see it because we've had 5 trading days since. But look at that. Does that not look like ridiculous? Right? Higher volume than all these other days just going up there. That's a shorting opportunity. And that's why I was front and center on my short list on Monday. And I was able to make a killing on it on this day here. Beautiful. Okay? Last one to look at that's, and I'm sure you can find other stuff that's stupid extended, but this one here, Keysight, is actually flagging. So again, as it flags here, you see the extension on the weekly chart. I'm not buying this flag because to me it's too extended, but I may buy a breakout failure. I'm sorry, short a breakout failure. Okay, or day trade this thing. But as you can see, it's very, very whippy. Lots of ups and down, blatant disregard for previous candles, highs and lows. It's just all over the place. So again, it takes a special type of person like me to trade something like this. All right, guys. I got to get off and watch this the playoff game now. So hope you guys have a good weekend. Enjoy it. Study these ideas. Hit me up, Tom at TomWillerTrading.com, or just Twitter. You can reply to me, send me notes, whatever. I'll get to them when I can if I'm trading. So study well, follow your plan, have a great long weekend, and we'll see you in the next video.